Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I want to talk about business that most people only notice when something has already gone wrong. Water damage restoration, mold remediation, and emergency mitigation. This image shows a woman next to burst pipes, using a sponge to soak up water and looking very worried. This image matters because it captures the whole business model in its earliest form. What looks like a leak can quickly become structural damage, mold, demolition, and a major bill. This visible product is just cleanup. The hidden business is stopping a small loss from becoming a much larger one. Now, this image shows us a couple calling an emergency mitigation service while water pours from their ceiling. This is where the lane becomes an urgency business. People are not calmly shopping for the best option. They are panicking and trying to stop damage in real time. This visible product is a helpline. The hidden business is selling speed, readiness, and immediate response when the clock is already working against the property. Now, this slide introduces our branded restoration truck. That matters because this is not just a casual cleanup. It is a specialized response industry built around trucks, crews, equipment, and fast dispatch. This visual product is a here is a service van. The hidden business is a 24-hour emergency logistics network for damaged buildings. Now, this slide here shows workers loading equipment to head to the construction site. This image is important because the restoration job is built on gear, extractors, air movers, dehumidifiers, meters, personal protective equipment, and containment tools. This visible image is workers packing a van. The hidden business is deploying capital intensive equipment fast enough to keep the damage from spreading. Now, this slide shows the company staging their equipment outside the job site. That matters because its response is not just arriving, it is setting up a temporary work zone around someone else's crisis. This visible product is organization. The hidden business is converting disorder into a control project that can now be measured, documented, and billed. Here, we see workers placing drying and extraction equipment inside the damaged property. This is one of the most important slides because it shows what emergency mitigation really is. Buying time. The visible product is a room full of machines. The hidden business is controlling the damage clock before moisture mitigates deeper in the walls, floors, and cabinets. Now, this slide widens the topic from one home to a whole flooded neighborhood. Now, we see this is an industry not only about burst pipes, it is also about storms, floodplains, and catastrophic water events that overwhelm entire communities. The visible product is disaster response. The hidden business is a large scale demand created by environmental exposures. Here, this image shows the aftermath of storm damage. The house is battered, the exterior is compromised, and the interior is exposed. That matters because once a structure is opened up by wind or debris, water intrusion often follows. The visible product is storm cleanup. The hidden business is that chain reaction from weather event to emergency mitigation to restoration. Now, this image adds another important twist fire. A burning roof reminds us that restoration is not just about floods. Fire suppression brings water, smoke, soot, and structural instabilities. The visible product is fire damage. The hidden business is that second disaster that begins when firefighting water soaks the building and creates a new race against mold and deterioration. Now, this image shows the emergency mitigation truck being dispatched after a major event. That matters because the industry is built around being first on the scene after an initial crisis. This visible product is response. The hidden business is owning the first phase of the damage chain before general contractors and rebuild crews take over later. Now, this slide shows the workers on site in full personal protective equipment gear. That matters because this is not just ordinary janitorial work. These crews operate in damaged, contaminated, or unstable spaces. This visible product is cleanup labor. The hidden businesses specialize risk tolerant labor that can enter spaces most owners are unprepared to handle. Now, this image shows the emergency tarping and securing of windows and entry points. That is a key step because mitigation does not always mean drying first. Sometimes it means stabilizing the envelope of the building so that further rain, wind, theft, or exposure do not worsen the loss. The visible product is a blue tarp. The hidden business is temporary protection that keeps the claim from getting bigger. Now, this slide introduces one of the harshest parts of the lane: sewage cleanup and biohazard mitigation. That matters because not all water is the same. Clean water, gray water, brackish water, black water can create very different levels of risk. The visible product is cleanup service. The hidden business is contamination control under emergency conditions. Now, this image makes that point vividly. A flooded basement with raw sewage is not simply a wet room, it is a health hazard, a disposal problem, and a biohazard response site. This visible product is pumping out a basement. The hidden business is managing contamination, liability, and specialized extraction. Now, this image shows a worker in protective gear collecting and bagging contaminated material. That matters because some restoration jobs are not just about saving materials at all. They are about deciding what must be removed and safely discarded. The visible product is waste removal. The hidden business is hazardous material handling. Now, this image shows our team that performs the environmental side of the job. That matters because restoration is not only trucks and fans, it is also the people who know how to work safely around sewage, biohazard contamination, and structural laws. This visible product is a team photo. The hit business is a specialized workforce identity built around emergency extraction and environmental risk. Now, this slide brings all the lanes together on one truck: biohazard, flood, fire, mold, cleanup. That is one of the strongest branding moments in this slide deck because it reveals how these companies bundle many forms of damage into one response business. This visible product is a van. The hidden business is capturing every phase of property emergency under one service brand. Now, this image shows severe moisture damage inside a house with ruined walls and materials opened up. That matters because this is where a simple water event becomes demolition and reconstruction. The visible product is damage. The hit business is that once materials can no longer be saved, the job expands into tear out, rebuild, and a much bigger project scope. Here we see a worker vacuuming wastewater in a protective suit. This image makes the labor side very concrete. The visible product is extraction. The hidden business is using equipment, training, and hazard tolerance to convert unlivable space back into a recoverable situation. Now, this image shows mold growth along a damaged wall. This is one of the deepest truths of the topic. Mold is what turns delay into a much larger business. This visible product is black staining on the wall. The hidden business is that moisture left untreated long enough becomes a whole new remediation project. Here we see workers in protective suits removing damaged materials and running drying equipment at the same time. That matters because restoration is rarely one step. It is extraction, containment, drying, removal, and rebuilding, all branded together. The visible product is repair. The hidden business is managing the handoff from emergency mitigation to full property recovery. Now, this final slide brings us home perfectly and closes the story. On one side, we see demolition, exposed framing, and torn up materials. On the other side, we see a clean, restored interior. That is the hidden business model in full. Water damage restoration is not just about cleaning up a mess, it is about converting damage, uncertainty, contamination, and structural disruption into a chain of specialized services that return a building to value and use. Thank you.